So why don't we introduce ourselves?
Hi, I am Eric Simon. I am for a lot of things. So I'm the community manager. I'm the guy you always talk to when you email and Facebook and tons of stuff. So I'm very much the public face, and if you have problems with shipments and other things, I deal with that, all of it, every single bit of it. I also am part of the Aventuria development, and I help with lots of other things. So I wear a lot of hats. Today I'm talking about the Dark Eye, so that's what I will do.
I'm JOT.
Yeah.
I'm Gerald Harris. I run the Torg Eternity line, so it's all my fault. That's pretty much all I do right now. But
then you get all the credit too.
Well, no, because everybody else does the good stuff, right?
Oh.
Everybody else. And we've got some amazing people working on that line. And me.
I'm Bill Bridges. I'm the product manager for the Fading Suns line, which you haven't seen yet because it's not out yet. But soon.
Coming soon. And I'm Ross Watson. I'm the line manager for Wrath and Glory, Warhammer 40k roleplay. Woo! And we are here to talk about our various things, what's happening, and I think we would like to talk about the Dark Eye first, right?
Yeah, so the general plan is we're going to do just a few minutes of talking for each line, and then we're going to open it up to questions. We're going to be pretty casual here. It's Saturday, 10 a.m., and we're all kind of fried.
It's actually, it works to our advantage that we didn't bring a huge PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, no, I'm
the one time.
I think keeping it casual is the way to go. So hopefully you've got some questions, and we'll have plenty of time to really address the things that you're interested in.
And if not, this is going to get super awkward.
Yeah. Well, if not, we end early.
We'll just like live stream 30 minutes of us staring
There
at
we
each
go.
other.
We'll just all walk away and let the walls go. So regarding the Dark Eye, a couple of things, and I've kind of mentioned these things on social media so far. We've talked about it a little bit. We understand that there's been a bit of a gap since Theater Nights 2, and that's a thing we want to fix. We want to take care of that. So we have Theater Nights 3 and 4 both in layout right now. We're trying to rapid fire those a little bit, and then we'll immediately move on to 5 and 6. 3 we expect to be in our web store by September, so regular stores after that by normal distribution delays. But the goal of that is to have 3 in stores or in our web store in September, and then immediately after that we launch the Aventuria Magic Kickstarter. So that is our next Kickstarter, and we are aiming for the end of September, with all of the caveats that Kickstarter scheduling is always, a moving target. Just a few things about what you can expect in the Magic Kickstarter. Obviously, the Aventuria Magic book, Conspiracy of Mages, which is an adventure very much attached to that, and a couple other things will be part of the core offerings. We will have finally new fate points. That has been something that we've run out of fate points a while ago, and we've been waiting, and now we finally will have the next round. It is Fate Point Set 3. I honestly, people have asked me, I do not know what Fate Point Set 2 was. That is apparently a German thing, and I don't even know what it was. But Fate Point Set 3 is definitely magic symbols, so it is a very magic themed Fate Point set. So that'll be in there. We're also going to include Theater Nights 4 as part of that Kickstarter. So you'll have Theater Nights 3, you'll immediately be able to pledge for Theater Nights 4 as an add-on, and we'll include, for those people who have been kind of like, I don't know when these are all coming, so I'm not going to buy them yet. We're going to be doing sort of add-on bundles with that, so we're going to have a smaller initial pledge for the Aventuria Magic Kickstarter, and then we're going to do some add-on bundles to say, if you want these things, here they all are. And part of the reason for that is, frankly, the available catalog for the Dark Eye is getting a little large, and so setting that up all as possible add-ons and packing those things for a Kickstarter is a little unwieldy, so we're going to try and do packages, so bundles. So there will be like a card pack bundle where if you don't have any of the card packs and you want them, just get this bundle, and that'll be the way to do that. So we're going to try that out. That's something we haven't really done for any of our Kickstarters yet so much. Maybe a little bit with the acrylics Torg. Yeah, so it'd be something kind of like that. But that's the sort of thing that we're looking at doing for that Kickstarter.
Theater Nights 3. This time it's personal.
Yeah, right.
Never mentioned it.
Yeah.
Never mentioning.
So yes.
I really like Theater Nights 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
But Theater Nights 4, the first one.
So yeah, so those things are all coming down the pipe. We've got a couple more things that we'll be doing as stretch goals that we'll talk about as we get closer. But yeah, we're trying to do, because adventures have kind of fallen off of the Kickstarters because it was hard to always fit them in with the theme. We're sort of saying, you know what, it's okay if they don't fit with the theme. We're going to put them in the Kickstarter because we need to have them in front of people, and otherwise, you know, part of the joy of the Dark Eye really is the adventures and kind of the unique stories that it tells. So that's something that we want to do. We do want to focus on, and that's something that we'll be working on. I can't say much about Aventuria right now, other than thank you for the support. The stack that we have in our booth right now represents the last of the English copies in the world. So that is it. There will be a little bit of a delay before we get to reprinting, but it is something that we are working on. And then we're figuring out translation stuff for what should be the next big box, which is Inn of the Black Boar. Way back on the initial Kickstarter, there were 4 people who pledged for having their custom heroes in the game, and I have to say, having seen the German versions of those heroes, not only is the art amazing, but the decks are really fantastic. They're hugely fun to play. So we do want to get those into English, so that is something that we are working on. That would be the next step for Aventuria.
So,
yes.
are you going to tell them about the distant future plans for North America?
I'm not at the moment.
There are distant future
There are
plans.
distant future plans for North America,
In the year
specifically
2000.
in terms of we'll just say we're working on card games. I'll just say that.
If you haven't played Aventuria, try it out.
Yeah, you should definitely try it out.
Really good.
It's
over
one of the
there.
best adventure card games, and I know I work here, but it's one of the best.
So yeah, definitely check that out. And that's what I have, so I will hand it over to Daryl.
Right on! How many Storm Knights do I have out there?
Woo! Thank you guys.
Check our Selby on Storm Knights. Woo!
Everybody duck face.
It is too early to duck this.
So, Torg, I'll break it down by waves. Wave 1, the core Kickstarter, everyone should have their miniatures now, which was the last piece that was outstanding. So finally we can say that that's done. I finally got my miniatures and I love them. They're really cool. I don't think they're cool enough to ever try to do miniatures again in a regular Kickstarter. And this is a trend that you will see with Torg a lot. Torg has a history of being experimental and trying new things. We're going to be the guinea pigs for a lot of stuff for Ulysses. So like, oh, let's try this. It didn't work at all. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, you know. And
I spent a possibility roll again.
right? Well, they're always going to be something that we think is cool, but then the real test is whether you guys think they're cool, and that determines whether we're going to do more of it or less of it, or whatever. Like the acrylic tokens for the second one, they're really cool, but they're similar to the dice in that it's really hard to communicate the feel of them over the internet. So you're like, oh look, tokens, and everyone's like, okay, it's a token, whatever. You're like, no, but I was playing with them and they're like way better than the regular ones. Nah. So we'll see if that takes off. But at any rate, wave 1's done. We're very soon going to announce like, hey, if you got any damaged product, if you haven't gotten it, speak now or forever hold your peace, because we're going to shut that one down. Living Land, the second one, where we're at on that one is we have still got items at the printer. The plan was that was going to be done about 4 weeks ago, so that lets you know we're not where we want to be. And we've still got to deal with shipping overseas and all that. So The hope was that we were going to have those books here for Gen Con to sell as product. Clearly that did not happen. We are getting faster. This one's quicker than the last one. A whole new slate of issues, unexpected issues came up. We're running out of those though. Like I'm getting increasingly confident that the next one, and we're going to keep whittling this down until it is a 4-month cycle.
Yeah, we're working through our production issues.
Yeah.
Things are happening. I mean, we have had some things slip, but it's working better. It's going to be better now.
Right. And so then the other big change, and this is something I'll talk about going into Wave 3, the Nile Empire, is for Wave 1 and Wave 2, we said up front we're not going to do the next Kickstarter until everything ships for the previous one. In part because there's a trust issue there, right? Like we need to build up that trust. We are specifically not going to say that for the Nile Empire. Isle is going to launch about 4 months after the Nile Empire. We are very likely going to have everything shipped by then, but if we don't, we're not going to wait on Isle. And that's because one of the other things that we hear a lot of is, you guys want to get to year 2, and so do we. And so we've got some cosms that we've got to finish, and we want to get through them as quickly as we can. So every 4 months you can expect a Kickstarter. You can also expect the compositions of those Kickstarters to vary as the timeline crunches down. We're always going to try and offer cool stuff. And I'm a little bit completionist and OCD, so I'm always going to push to have things so that, when you've got the set of 7, if you get all 7, you're going to have matching things in all of them. That's optional for a lot of people, and we get that. We're going to focus on, they're always going to have a source book, they're always going to have a big adventure, and we're 50-50 on the GM screens. I think they're pretty cool. I don't know if their value is going to warrant the whole run. And that's something we're going to be checking as we go. And again, you'll see a lot of experimentation where each wave we're going to try some new product that we're going to add. And it'll be a surprise, like, oh, so the acrylic tokens was the one for Living Land. Now Empire, I'm not going to spoil that one yet.
Well, you should talk about the law of masks.
So, when we're talking rules and things.
I know, but there's so much cool stuff in Nile Empire.
There's a lot of cool stuff coming.
It's crazy cool. Yeah, that guy right there is banging a lot of masks.
Yeah. So, one of the things that we knew early on is every cosm's got 3 major laws, right? But we also realized, and this was built in, this is baked into the DNA of the game, that there are these kind of minor laws that they exist. And they don't carry like major setting weight, but they're a thing. And often these are expressed through the Cosm cards. Like in Living Land, we've got the Law of Decay, and people were like, why do you have a card called the Law of Decay when that's not one of the 3 laws? And we're like, well, there's hundreds of laws.
It's a minor one.
It's just not one of the big 3. And so Nile Empire, we're always exploring, like, so what are the minor laws that we want to shed light on? And of course, the Nile Empire would have to have the law of masks, where as long as you're wearing a physical mask that hides your identity, if you're not wearing other armor, it counts as armor. And we had
So your identity, your actual identity, no, your identity as a hero is what protects you, not only from people, but from the bad guys. Also are like, wow, that's the shroud. You can't mess with the shroud, even if he's like wearing a bath towel. That's the shroud. Watch out for him.
Yeah. It was pretty funny in the backer game where we had, we were in the Nile Empire, and they've got the masks. Like, oh, cool, and I've got this toughness because of this law that comes on, and then we end up like shifting to another realm during that, and all the heroes are like, oh no, my mask doesn't work anymore. No.
Well, it's still there's the identity thing too. It's like as long as you have the mask on, it's.
Oh yeah, you're.
Who is that mask?
Yeah, but the Storm Knights, who are you?
Lance Hunt wears glasses. Captain Amazing doesn't wear glasses. They can't possibly be the same person. But yeah, I'm really excited about Nile Empire. In one of our home campaigns, we're doing a thing which is like a weird mashup of Doc Savage and DC Comics. So it's like weird pulp plus some of the nightmare trees from Rorsch kind of coming in and doing some stuff. It's really, really fun. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah. After Nile Empire is going to be Isle. The other question I'll answer up front, because people always ask me, is what's the order for the cost?
Hey, what's the order? What's next?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nile Empire's next, then Isle, then Cyber Papacy, Pan Pacifica. Tharcold is the one we're doing out of order because we want to save a Rorsch for the very last.
The GM.
That's right. That's the comments.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, and the pat answer is we're doing them in exactly the same order that they came out originally, with the exception of Tharcold, which we're kind of dropping in a little bit early because that one originally didn't come out in the first year, the first wave at all. But it's one of our core ones now, so it's got to go in that rotation, and we wanted it in towards the end, but we have to save a Rorsch for last.
For reasons.
That's the Torg.
Exactly as planned.
Thank you, Dr. Mobius.
Just crazy enough to work.
I will just talk about Fading Suns then.
Woo!
Back. How many people are familiar with Fading Suns here? All right. Okay. Well, Fading Suns there's 5,000 years in the future, and we've always sort of followed that exact kind of thing. So now that we're in the year 2018, it's actually 5018 in the known worlds, and we're going to catch up on some of the timeline stuff that nobody's been talking about for 5 or so years since the book was last out. So that'll be one thing to look forward to, is more developments in the known world, what's been going on. For anybody not familiar with Fading Suns, far, far future, humanity spread across the stars, created a republic of high technology, and then crashed it. And so now you're kind of living in the remnants in these feudal empire, picking through the relics of the past, because you don't really fully understand this high technology anymore, but it's really cool and you want it. And there's aliens, weird magic.
Isn't there something about stars going out?
Well, there is
Slowly.
the fading of the sun.
Sort of buried the lead there.
Seems like that kind of thing.
It's in the title. You know what's going there. So yeah, that's one reason the church is so powerful, is because everybody thinks they're doomed, and they want their soul saved before it all happens. And gee, I don't know what else to say, except that we've got a new core book I'm working on. There's design diaries every month up on the Ulisses NorthAmerica.com website. And certainly you can get up there and ask all sorts of questions. There's the forums also. And yeah, big core book, plus different books coming. Can't say which ones just yet. We're still working out the schedule. There'll be novels too, all sorts of fiction, all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to echo Bill and say, if you guys want to know more about what's coming out for Ulysses North America, your best bet is to keep an eye on the website. Eric does a great job of putting up new content all the time. Designer diaries and the forums are active. We have people that will answer your questions.
Yep.
So please check us out. And we actually have a mailing list too, don't we? You can sign up for early access.
Yeah, so the mailing list is, we currently have been sort of prototyping the mailing list for Wrath and Glory.
Okay, sorry.
There will be a general mailing list in the future.
So you've got to be
Yeah, Wrath and Glory has two.
I think Torg was supposed to be the guinea pig.
Right? I know. You guys are cutting me off with these already. 5 minutes in and I'm already wrong.
So yeah.
So, do you have anything else?
No?
All right, Wrath and Glory.
So, Wrath and Glory. Well, first of all, did anybody here support the pre-order? Awesome. Thank you guys so much. We have had an awesome pre-order. Huge response. People are loving what we're doing so far, so that makes me really excited as lead designer. And we're having a really good launch here at Gen Con. Come by the booth if you haven't already. We've got the core book here for the people who didn't pre-order. Or if you did pre-order and want to pick it up.
Yep.
Those things are all possible. And the rest of Wave 1, I'm a year behind Torg, so. Yeah, the rest of Wave 1 is on its way. We are looking at retail, stuff arriving in retail stores around soft date, October.
October-ish, yeah.
And then every month after that will be something new coming up. And Wave 1 is going to be, the core book's going to be an adventure called Archetypes, which is 5 linked adventures set on an ocean world. It's pretty awesome. There's all kinds of stuff going on with rogue psychers and the dark god Slanesh and all kinds of machinations. It's got, you know, a great mix of investigation and you know, you have to get into the depths of Imperial society and even, you know, maybe fight some Eldar along the way. So
It's got tentacle stuff then?
Tentacle stuff. Tentacle stuff. I'm not going to rule it out.
It's Slanesh, it was already weird.
Not going to rule it out. But yeah, Dark Tides is coming. We also have the Wrath starter set, which is really cool. It's got a starter adventure in it where you have to escape some orcs who are prowling the asteroid fields out there. There's also a starter rulebook, pre-generated characters, tokens, dice, everything you need basically to get started and play is right there in that box. We feel like Wrath of Glory is a great place for someone who maybe not a big 40K guy or maybe just not into role-playing, they want to know what it's all about. That's the entry point, will be these starter sets. So be sure to check that out. We have a GM screen and we have you know, a bunch of card packs with the stuff from the core book that you can then put on your table. We have we have critical hits, we've got psychic powers, talents, perils of the warp. And the advantage of having this stuff in the card form is you don't have to look it up in the chart, although all that stuff is in the book. But also as a GM, it's kind of a cool tool because you can curate those decks if you want to pull out some specific things for your players to look at. And we have the campaign cards, which is one of my favorite things. It's based on Torg's Cosm cards.
Because they're awesome.
Because they're awesome. And they put a little extra 40K flavor into the hands of the players that they can then add to the game. And we have promo cards that I think were released just for the pre-sale. So if you're part of the pre-sale, you will be getting the promo cards as well as the pack.
Yeah.
So all that stuff is in Wave 1. And then we have plans. We are already in motion for Wave 2. Wave 2 is going to be about the Dark Imperium, Imperium Nihilus. And we are going to have more player character options. We're going to have some more stuff. It's pretty Imperial focused right before we dive into some of the other factions in 40K. So in the Imperium Nihilus, we're looking at a lot of stuff for Primaris Marines. We're looking at stuff for the Inquisition and the Mechanicus. Although we are also talking about the Dark Mechanicus because part of the Imperium Nihilus campaign is we have a set of linked adventures that deal with the Dark Mechanicus and their plots in the Gilead system. And it's being written partially by Ben Counter, who's a really great 40K novelist, if anybody knows Ben Counter's books from Horus Heresy and other things. And that dude knows Dark Mechanicus like nobody else. So we're really excited to see what we have there. And after Imperium Nihilus, which we will probably be talking about and having a pre-sale for, I think, around November. I think it's what we're aiming for. Again, moving target. Eric points out to me every time it's a moving target. But November is what we're aiming for that. And early 2019, we will be talking about the next one, which is Doom of the Eldar. All Eldar all the time, doing all the Eldar things we've always wanted to do. We're going to have a full range of Ashkan warriors and player characters. This guy right here can barely contain himself. He's so excited about that.
We don't kill us so far.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Inari. We're gonna talk about the Harlequins. You know, we're gonna go into the Webway and possibly even visit the Black Library and the Adventurers and so forth. It's gonna be really cool. I'm really excited about that. So that's gonna be the next thing, and we have even more stuff on the horizon, which Eric will literally kill me if I start talking about anything past that point. But keep in mind, there is plenty of places to go, plenty of things to do. We are literally just at the tip of the iceberg of all the really awesome things in 40K, and we want to explore as much of that as we possibly can. And a lot of that is thanks to you guys and all your support. We would not be where we are today if it wasn't for you guys, you know, pushing us forward with the pre-sale. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, I want to just throw in a couple other notes. Ross is absolutely correct about the starter set being a great standalone product for new players. It's a really great introduction. It's also very useful if you're putting it with everything else, if you're using it with the core rules. because it does have a couple of maps. It does have.
Yeah, it's got battle maps. It's the only place you can get the dice.
It is the only place you can get the dice. So you know, you got 5 or 10 if you pre-ordered for retail. If you want more dice, that is the place to get it. It's starter sets.
Yeah, and we have the battle. I forgot about the battle maps. It also comes with the deluxe pre-generated character sheets.
Yeah, and tokens. So those are really handy if you're if you want to. You know, just one of the problems with my adventure is moving faster than my painting, so I need to grab some tokens.
Yeah, it's got some great acrylic tokens.
They're the acrylics?
Yeah.
So that's great. So, yeah, I can't wait till people actually get to handle it.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, that makes a difference. It
Yes.
really does.
And I think, do you want to go open up the questions?
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and open it up to questions. So this will be just throw out your questions. Try to indicate.
Before we go to questions,
You
this is
hesitate.
another one that might get shot down. Do we want to talk about any other on the horizon product lines? I don't care if we
nope.
want to keep that. So what we will say is there might be other products.
But yeah, no, for reasons, I am saying no.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I think we might want to talk about that.
I'm going to elaborate on that just a little bit, and no details there, I promise. But it is fair to say that Ulisses North America has a lot going on, and we have a lot of plans and a lot of really cool stuff on the horizon. This is not just a, hey, we've got 2 or 3 games and we're done. No, we've got more, and big stuff is coming. So please do keep an eye on the website, and we will reward you for your diligence. It will all come in due time.
But yes, as I am responsible for holding that information.
Right? That's why I asked.
Yes, I need to say no because I've been told no. So
Understand.
there
But
it
if
is.
you
Sorry.
get it wrong.
Sorry. What's that?
If you get him drunk.
Yeah, you buy the food drinks.
It's very expensive to get me drunk because I am a single malt fan. But I'll put that out there.
I'm cheap, everyone.
A couple of wine coolers and barrels.
Right? I'm ready to go.
Just a pack of Zima.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we'll throw it open to questions. Yes.
Okay, so during the development of Wrath and Glory, even before the pre-orders opened up, you mentioned that there would be 4 species and 32 archetypes.
Yes.
I have my core rulebook, anybody who has it can count, hopefully. And there are 31 archetypes. Now I was wondering what happened during the development phase that made you guys decide to end up dropping the 32nd, and if it's not actually the Death Watch Ascension thing that you guys talked about in the Ascension package, what was it?
Okay, there is a 30-second time.
What is
It's the Chaos Space Marine, which is you just take the Space Marine and make him a Chaos Space Marine.
Okay.
It didn't need a whole archetype to itself because we put the guide. There's a section in the Chaos thing about how to make a Chaos Space Marine.
Will we see expansion and an eventual Stardy supplement for Trigger Legions?
Of course, absolutely. Eventually, we will get to.
Oh yeah, eventually. I mean, it does humans and Eldar and Orc, which I've heard rumored is a third one. You don't have to kill him. He said it before. It's fine. You said Orcs after Eldar. Well,
I would really love to do it. I mean, I would love to do everything after.
Yeah, no, that's
We'll get there. And
So
I would love to do Imperial Knights after Eldar.
That'd be cool.
Right? Like it's something that's on my list. Of like,
Cool. Good to know that that is the actual 30 Awesome.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just was
there's, trust me, I'm not lying.
Oh no, that's fine. It just wasn't on the table, so everybody was like, "Why are there 31?"
We're like Baskin Robbins, bud. You know, make sure you got
The
it.
30-second flavor.
The 30-second flavor is the secret flavor.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
In regards to the Mechanicus, do you have any plans to like let, I guess, tech priests or something like say have control over like like a little group of like servitors or
Yes.
say battle automata or anything like that?
Yes, absolutely. There's so much cool stuff from Mechanicus now. We would be crazy not to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
I've always been a huge Mechanicus fan. So.
Yeah. Well, we've got like I think we have service stalls in the core book, but we're gonna.
Yeah,
do more.
they're in the bestiary.
Yeah.
So
But we'll be adding more, and there's
as
gonna be
far as-
talents to let you like start with a bunch.
yeah,
of
the rules for how to build them
Yeah.
along with your character is not.
I think
that's
the
a little
awesome.
bit simple.
I think the awesome if we introduce a talent that lets you start as a Mechanicus guy with like a swarm of cherubs or something
Yeah.
following you around. That'd be cool.
Yes.
I don't have a Wrath and Glory.
Cool.
Yes!
We do want to mix it up. So
This is for Eric mostly. So God's Works and Bestiary 2.
So yeah.
My German, like they are driving me crazy translating German. Like
Yeah.
I just need them to like buy books.
Yes, I agree. I want everybody to buy more dark eyes so that can help us hire more translators so that we can catch up faster. I agree. So distant future, so part of the thing is we have these 4 deluxe character sheets. The second one will be part of the Magic Kickstarter, so that'll be the Arcane Heroes. And then there are 2 that we can't do until we do Blessings of the Gods, because they are both Divine characters. It's Divine and Divine plus Magic as character sheets. So if you have a character sheet who is both Divine and Magic using, there's a deluxe character sheet for you.
That's so awesome.
So yeah, we do want to get to that, but we're probably not going to do that right after Magic. Most likely, timing-wise, I am going to push for the 7 Wind Coast, so our next regional supplement to be at the one that we do after Magic. But I'm also hoping, now that it's been a year, to try and squeeze some Bestiary 2 previews in at some point soon. Maybe as stretch goals might be a thing that we could try for. But that's still up in the air. We're not sure if we're going to be able to do that, and again, it's all timing. So once we get the Theater Nights done, we'll be able to really dig in, and we do have multiple editors now working on things, so that will help us get it going faster. It's just the translation speed. There is a lot in the Dark Eye, and anytime. One of the challenges with the Dark Eye is anytime you bring on a new translator, there is a ton of technical language that they have to learn. And we try to have lexicons and explanations, but there are a lot of things that they don't realize is a technical term. So they translate it a different way, and catching that is a lot of work for Kevin and the editing team. So that's it. It is a chore. It is a task, definitely. But the hope is with more people we'll be able to speed it up a little more. And yeah, so I'm aiming for 7 Wind Coast. So probably Blessings of the Gods will be, my guess is mid 2019. That would be my very, very loose ballparky guess.
So what about
Theater Nights 5, Theater Harder.
Well, and what about the Book of Coming Together?
Yeah, so not going to talk about that right now.
What'd you say?
It's a huge Kickstarter.
No.
Follow the German.
Oh, yeah, there's a yeah, we can't talk about it.
Yes.
We can't talk about it, but there was the thing.
So, okay, so
Can you
yeah,
speak
that's,
German? Go look at the site.
yes. If you follow the German crowdfundings, you know what
You
Daryl is
will
talking
see
about.
some.
Oh, yeah. Now I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my German is sprechen Sie
Yes.
Ambition.
Yes.
So,
The Havana Kickstarter was awesome.
yeah, no,
The
we're.
German Havana
I
Kickstarter.
can't wait till we catch up to that one.
How many years is that going to be?
The old reprints, that they reprinted old Torg edition stuff that's awesome. Like, yeah.
Well,
And oh, by the way, if you do speak German, the Torg in German
They're
crowdfunding is
kickstarting
happening
right now.
right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
If you want to collect Torg in German, head to yes.
We're going to have Blessings Unheralded in German soon.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's for the European crowd.
Indeed.
and I believe they are working on a French translation too.
Yes. I don't know.
I don't know.
For Torg.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
Torg.
I don't know where that's.
I know because that is Black Book editions, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you need something for the psychopathology.
I
Right.
know.
Okay. Any other questions? Who's up next? Yes.
On the Fading Suns topic, is there any soon?
So if you want our moving target for Fading Suns, is that what you?
Yeah.
So the moving target for Fading Suns is third quarter for the Kickstarter, or fourth quarter. Sorry, fourth quarter for the Kickstarter.
November,
Yeah. So
Of this year?
yes.
Okay.
This year.
Making sure.
Fourth quarter this year is our moving target. Well, so that's the goal, but Bill is writing furiously, and we need to sort some things out just to make sure that we're going to hit that. But yeah, that's the goal. So yeah.
Pretty sure we will.
All right.
All right, let's see if I can hit that target.
All right. Yes.
Not so much a question, but played Fading Suns yesterday. Really liking some of the new mechanic.
Oh,
I
good.
have to say I like the way Similarly, being closer to your goal buys you more flexibility you can then spend on other things in the same scene. I thought that was excellent.
Rather than dividing by 3.
Yes, less arithmetic always helps. I'm a master second, so arithmetic is my bread and water. And really liked what I saw also with the Noble Influence. I was curious whether there'd be not necessarily a similar role, but the ability for parties with a different balance. Because of course the noble class is incredibly important, but in different kinds of scene, you might expect the priestly or the guild to have the limelight.
Yeah. Well,
And
everybody's
is that
got their.
something that might be coming in? Okay, I appreciate you're in development, you're thinking all these things.
Everybody's got their own strengths and weaknesses, and you balance things out. No one class has, is better at, say, social influence or combat than any others. It's really up to the characters. I mean, there are certain exceptions, like a brother battle is going to be good at combat. And unfortunately, they're not going to be as great at other stuff because they spent all their time focusing on that. But yeah, you could have, a merchant league guy who's really tough or really, really persuasive, and you can have a noble who's just not good at that kind of stuff either. It's not defined by class. It's still, there's all sorts of options. There are tricks certain classes have that kind of show off just what they can do. Like one of the things in the initiative order is at any point, a noble character, the guy playing a noble, can overrule and say, no, you're going first and stuff. And a brother battle at any point can, if it's a combat action, can just jump right in and do it, interrupting anybody else. Little tricks like that. There's stuff with the victory points, like priests have the abilities called inspiring. They can give their victory points to anybody else when they need them. Nobles have imperious, which is every once in a while, when they have to resist somebody's social influence against them, they can add to their resistance against it by drawing victory points from the well instead of their own pool and stuff. And now yeomen, though, have one called independent that does the same thing. So the idea is that nobles and yeomen, the lowest and the highest, really aren't that different. They just play. And whereas merchants, theirs is ingenious, which is when they roll a critical and you get double the victory points. Those are normally temporary. You have to use them that turn, but they can then bank them. So those sort of things are showing off how different everybody is, how they have their strengths and weaknesses.
Yes.
I guess this question applies to all 4 of the lines.
Ooh.
But some publishers are getting more and more involved with living campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you guys would consider any of the lines that you carry?
It is something we are exploring. We're trying to figure out sort of how best to approach it, and there are lots of different tricks that you run into and issues that you run into. Certainly in Europe, there's a weird legal borderline between living campaign and employee, and that's a tough line to walk in some cases, and it's actually something that's becoming more of an issue here in the States as well. So that's a thing that we have to work out. So trying to develop systems like the Infiniverse, where we're providing resources and sharing information, that's one of the ways that we're looking at how do we make this happen without necessarily having to staff it all ourselves. And that's because that's always the issue is the staffing. So we want to enable you to go out and be part of the whole living world, but not have to feel like you're obligated to us or anything like that.
Right. Whatever we do is probably not going to look like an adventure league.
Yeah.
It just doesn't really make sense on our scale.
Yeah.
But we do want to be able to provide tools and meta plot and the opportunity to have those kind of experiences and adventures, if the people are there to use it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Lots of exciting news on the horizon. So, should happen.
Yes.
What about creating for Torg characters and stuff like that onto online gaming platforms like Roll20?
So our Roll20 support's up, isn't it?
Yeah. So
it is?
the drama deck is on Roll20. You can buy it right now on Roll20.
What about making the character stuff for it?
So that will be, I guess, a next step. The characters.
I had everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that the drama deck was the first thing as far as character resources. The drama deck is such a sort of specific thing that we figured, oh, people can figure out characters.
Right.
Character sheets on Roll20 are pretty flexible. There's a lot of ways to manage that.
Because I like
But
the
yeah.
being able to roll dice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I know she's got the dice algorithm, and I know she's
Okay.
played the game on it, which means they've got the character sheets and whatever.
Yeah.
There might be more automation that can be done. So that's never our primary focus. Like our primary focus is like getting the game done.
Yeah.
But a lot of us, you know, Deanna's up in Canada. God. So
Behind the iron curtain.
right, exactly. So she needs something like Roll20 to actually, I think the nearest living other person is like 20 miles away.
And that's a moose.
That's but yeah.
So she's very invested in making that happen.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why she's leading that effort. She's not really a coder. I don't think any of us are.
No.
Like I'm 50-50 actually.
I'm just starting to learn more about the Roll20 myself. But and the other difficulty that we run into with virtual tabletops is that there are several, and as we support one, people clamor for, well, why aren't you supporting this other one?
Yeah.
And well, because they all have their
Reasons.
unique methods and requirements, and it's a lot of work, and it's better. Ultimately, something like the drama deck is important enough that we can pursue that and make it available. But things like rolling algorithms, we would like to encourage community members who are there to say, hey, here's how I do my exploding Torg dice, so I'll share that code. Because usually rolling algorithms are pretty straightforward. It's usually a line or two. And that's not.
Torgs is a little more complicated.
Torgs is a little.
And that's why I sent Deanna notes on
Yeah.
it too.
But for other lines, for instance, D6 pool systems where you're just looking for 4s, 5s, and 6s, that's something that's a little easier.
Yeah. You guys who are Torg fans, Deanna Gilbert is a huge resource and a big reason why we have come as far as we can. So
yeah,
big props to you.
Yep, absolutely. As much as I make fun of Canada.
Yes.
So I played Torg over Roll20, bought the drama deck and everything. I put all the character sheets up as from the PDFs.
Right.
Are you okay if I just put them out into the community marketplace, or should I wait for you to?
So they should not be on the marketplace.
Not
marketplace,
Infiniverse?
So the archetypes, if you want. Actually, that would be great. If you can share that file with me separately, what I will do is I'll post it for download on the Infiniverse. So not the Infiniverse Exchange, but on the Infiniverse website.
Okay.
That would be a super good place to do that.
And thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Wrapping back to Wrath and Glory. So we've seen some little small adventures. Box of Sorrows. We just recently saw
Unhallowed.
Unhallowed. We just recently saw Unhallowed, and I played in the Reach, and I'm playing in Foot in the Mausoleum tonight, but are we ever going to see notes for those released for us to be able to run, rather than me experiencing it, writing it down, and posting notes on the internet?
I would love to do that. I've been, getting things done for Wave 1 to Wave 2.
No, exactly. I mean, this is no shame of it.
It's just a bandwidth question, but I'd really love to do it because I had a lot of fun coming up with Box of Sorrows and Unhallowed, which were both written in about 30 minutes. So I would really love to sit down and make a full adventure for those. We have plans to get those into the line. It's a question of where in the schedule they go, because we have the big books, the big releases. We have I have so many freaking ideas, man. I have all these. we have pitches in all the time for really cool stuff, and I'd love to get them in there. It's just a question of getting the crowbar out and wedging it into the schedule somewhere. Because I have all my notes for that. I mean, it may be a case of hiring somebody and say, watch this video, and write an adventure based on this video.
I put up notes for your Blessings and Heralded.
So,
well, we did actually write that one.
Yeah, so that one at least.
Or not Blessings and Heralded, I'm so sorry. I mean, Box of Sorrows.
Oh, you
right,
okay, well, I'd love to see those sometime. So.
Yeah, and just to give a framework on what we mean by eventual, I mean, as an example, we ran, Daryl ran a game last Gen Con for Kickstarter backers, and we just released that PDF last week.
So, but it's important to point out like that. Wrath of Glory is very early on in its development. It's like literally just got the first book out, and if you think back to like how Dark Heresy was, we will be there, but it's going to take some time to build up to that level. It's going to happen, and I think your idea of like getting those products out quickly is a good one. It's definitely like, I would love to do that. Mm-hmm. Can I find the bandwidth? Can I find the resources to get there and still also hit our targets, our moving targets, for Wave 2 along the way? That's the question. I will do my best to see if we can make that happen.
And then specifically, like with our Gen Con adventure, like there are other factors at play. So like one of the factors at play for that one was, the adventure was actually written and in layout last Gen Con, but it didn't have maps and art. I mean, it had sketches, but you can't publish it like that. And then it's a matter of like, okay, so we've only got so many resources to do like real maps for the books. Are we diverting them to finish this and get it out? Not yet, Yeah. And then one of the other factors on it was, the cool thing about an adventure like that, especially when it's filmed like Ross's are, is there's what you see on camera, and then there's the way it could have gone.
Right. There's you gotta, like in a written adventure, you can't just say, well, this and then this and then this. You have to say, well, if you decide to go here, then this.
And sometimes that's a really big if. Like in our adventure, it's like, well, if you go left instead of right, some serious stuff comes out.
Daryl's also right that the art and cartography take time, and probably even more a little bit with licensed property like mine. I have to run it through approvals. But yes, we want to do it. Yeah, we will get there.
But those are the kind of factors that make it delayed. It's like, oh yeah,
but
is it written? Yeah.
Well, this guy's one of my favorite guys. He's like, I want it now. When will that be now?
I like it. I like experiencing it. I want people to stop being like harping on about it, because I experience that like every day. I'm sure Eric experiences it too, because I harp on him every day.
Wait, people on the internet complain about our games?
Especially games that aren't even out.
That's crazy.
So I actually have a question for the audience. We were talking about experimenting or whatever. Don't make this weird. No, because you see multiple game companies put out rougher beta versions of books and then do a real one. Is that something you guys are interested in?
Yes. I like the development process.
Do you want Ashkan?
I like having it all. Give me betas, give me alphas, give me notes.
Yeah, Ashkan is a term for sort of an early version of something that's sort of low art.
It makes better games.
I saw the Dark Heresy Adventure Contest. If they're willing to release that, we can see some alpha versions.
Right. Well, and that, like I say, and that's fascinating because I think for most people on this side of the table, we would think, no, everyone wants the finished product. There's no way we should release something that's rough. But I think what I hear more and more is, just give me that early rough version. Yeah.
I don't think that guy's very excited about it.
Yeah, sorry.
One person is like, don't do it. That's great, I'm with you.
But yeah, so and there may be some product lines that we can and can't.
Yeah, that's true. When licenses are involved.
Okay, we're almost out of time, and we are not going to be those people who hold a room too late.
However, I will happily stand outside.
Yeah, we will stand outside and answer more questions. So you and then. Yes.
Just a real quick comment. I know nothing about Warhammer 40K, but I went in the all-in bundle because of quality and workmanship of the Dark Eye. So I just want to say your product lines are really helping supporting each other.
Thank you.
I know you guys are tired. I know you work a lot to try to make sure everything is done well, but it has been fantastic. So please keep it up.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
You're the reason why we do this.
That's nice validation.
Oh, by the way, I also did the demo in the hall with I think it was Michael.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. When he was done, it was 15 minutes. I'm like, what do you mean it's over?
That's good. So like to hear.
Just a
bit of self-promotion. In the organized play front, some of us are veterans of other organized play. And because of the current legal environment, especially some stuff happening up in Washington State with some big companies, some of us have actually, in the fan community, have actually started a fan-run organized play for both Torg and Dark Eye.
Yes.
LivingAventuria.com, TorganizedPlay.com, the most awesome organized play name ever. And it's totally fan-run, and there's no hierarchy in it. And it's, if you're a member of it, you get to vote on what we do. And it's all about consuming the product they create as fast as possible, but also creating our own product when like there's a delay. My players have run, and San Diego have run through all the Dark Eye published content.
Yes.
And all the time translate
and this is why. So this is why we have things like the Scriptorium and the Infiniverse Exchange. So we want fans to be able to post those things there. Yes, definitely do that. Yes.
How far behind is the American version of Dark Eye to the German?
A year and a half to 2 years.
I was going to say 28 years, right?
Depends on how you look at it.
Depends on how you look at it. But so about a year and a half to 2 years.
Okay.
So and that's there was a period where it accordioned out. We're trying to accordion it back in. That's yes.
As far as Wrath and Glory, you talk about things being translated from German and brought over here. Is that all released over in Europe at the same time?
No, they're talking about Dark Eye when they talk about.
No, I know. For Wrath and Glory, is that all available worldwide everywhere?
Well, they're working on that. There's a team that's translating it into German and French, and I think
I'm just saying, you're all the same company, and they want to consume it as fast.
Yeah, so
English translated, maybe it's a.
No, but they have the delay going the other way. So basically everything but the Dark Eye is English first.
Yeah, we also got to realize that we have to re-lay out the entire book.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know this, but like when Twitter went to 140 characters, the Germans were like, "Woo, 2 whole words." So
really
not an exaggeration.
It's an exaggeration.
Way back when I was way back in the day, the guy who handled getting all the translations done came to all of us developers and said, could you guys write 20% less words in your books? Because the Germans are having that so much extra pages. We're like, we're not going to change our word count.
No, but it's not, I'm not making fun of German. I'm just saying in general, when you do a different language, it requires a different layout. So there's more delay than just literally running through Google Translate.
There better be more delay than that.
there's a book size thing in terms of just the actual dimensions.
Oh yeah.
But yes, they're hungry for it over there too, for sure.
Yeah,
I don't doubt it.
And there are definitely other, nothing's been confirmed, but I know of other companies that are working on attaining the license for other languages for Wrath and Glory.
It's in the works.
It's in the works, but our stuff will be first, and they'll translate it from there.
But they need a point of reference.
Yeah. Any other questions? Cool. Thank you all so much for coming.